It started with 6 women surrounding my crying daughter at the farmer's market. They called her unchristian, told her she was evil for not loving her dead father's affair babies. And they said I was the worst kind of woman, someone who refused to obey her in-laws like a good Christian wife. That was the moment I knew my ex-mother-in-law had sent them. And she had no idea what I was about to do in return. If you've ever dreamed of seeing a manipulative, self-righteous bully get exactly what they deserve, hit that like button, subscribe, and settle in. Because this isn't just a story of revenge. It's a story of justice, served cold, in color-coded, professionally printed binders. My name's Amanda. I'm 46, a mom of 2 teen girls, 17 and 15. I wish this story didn't exist. I wish my ex hadn't cheated, hadn't lied, hadn't died, leaving a tornado of damage in his wake. But here we are. Let me rewind a little. My ex-husband and I were going through a messy divorce when he died suddenly in a car accident. He wasn't alone in that car. The woman he was cheating on me with, she died too. Together, they left behind 2 baby boys. Orphans. Children born out of betrayal. It was our daughters, who first discovered the cheating. They'd seen the texts, the pictures, the secret calls. They were devastated and angry. And now, on top of grieving a father who betrayed us all, they were being told they had new baby brothers they were expected to love? No. It wasn't that simple. Not for them. Not for me. But that's when my ex-in-laws, his parents, stepped in. Or rather, tried to take over. They demanded custody of my daughters. Claimed they needed spiritual guidance. They also wanted to move in with us into our home. Yeah. The same people who backed my cheating husband every step of the way now wanted to play house with me and the daughters they'd emotionally neglected for years. I refused. I got a lawyer. And that's when the real attacks began. It was my youngest's birthday weekend. We went to the local farmer's market, a place filled with fresh eggs, local chocolates, flowers, and handmade soaps. A mother-daughter kind of day. I gave her some cash and let her roam free with her sister. Just a couple hours to feel joy. Freedom. But after an hour, my phone rang. It was her. Crying. Voice shaking. "Mom, there's these ladies, they won't let me leave." My blood went cold. I ran across that market like a madwoman, my eldest beside me. And there they were, 6 older women, all in pastels and pearls, berating my daughter, calling her unkind, unchristian, selfish, for refusing to see her grandparents or accept her poor baby brothers. The hypocrisy was overwhelming. These women didn't know what they were talking about, but I knew who sent them. I stepped in front of my daughter, told my eldest to gather their things and head to the car. Then I turned to the swarm of church vultures and I unleashed every ounce of rage I had been choking on for months. They told me I was the unfaithful one for not obeying my in-laws like a godly woman. One even said I had hardened my daughter's hearts. Security was called. We were asked to leave. And as I walked to my car, those women followed me, hissing scripture and condemnation like a modern-day witch trial. Later that night, after my daughters were asleep, I reached out to someone I still knew from my ex-in-law's church. He was one of the few decent ones. I told him what happened. His response? He apologized. Then sent me screenshots. Turns out, my ex-mother-in-law had been spreading a twisted sob story across the church's private Facebook group. She claimed my daughters and I were abandoning her and her husband. Said we were hoarding the inheritance and refusing to let them see their grandsons. And worst of all, she claimed the affair babies were actually surrogate babies that I had rejected because they were boys. She weaponized the story to manipulate the community, and people were buying it, especially the more extreme, holier-than-thou churchgoers. What she didn't expect was that this church, as judgmental as they are about some things, they are militant about one thing: cheating. And now she had given me the perfect setup. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to post online. No. I was going to show them the truth. I took a personal day, headed to a print shop, and began gathering receipts. Photos of my ex and his mistress making out in our living room. Text messages between him and her. Screenshots of conversations with his parents, supporting the affair. Voicemails and texts from them harassing me during the divorce. And worst of all, messages calling my daughters bastards and blaming them for their father's death, just 2 days after he died. I printed everything on high-gloss, premium paper, organized it into personalized binders, ones that looked exactly like the church's hymn booklets. Each binder opened with a full-color, crystal-clear photo of my ex and his mistress. Underneath, a love story, ex's name and mistress's name. The woman didn't even look like me. Different skin tone, hair color. There was no way to spin it. That Sunday morning, before service started, I walked quietly into the church. I placed the binders on the back desk, where people grabbed in books if they forgot theirs. No one checked. They never do. Then I left. And waited. By Monday morning, the church's Facebook group exploded. The gossip? Nuclear. Some people were furious, raging about the sin in their pews. Others were posting memes. Memes, y'all. The pastor had to step in just to prevent total chaos. But the best part? Suddenly, people weren't so sympathetic to my ex-mother-in-law's sob story. Once they saw the bullying text she sent my daughters, blaming them for their dad's death, even the most devout church ladies turned on her. They didn't just call her out. They shamed her publicly. She and her husband were effectively shunned. She made one final, desperate Facebook post saying how alienated she felt, how no one cares for the elderly anymore. She said she wished her son was still alive to take care of her. Lady. With what money? I was the one paying all the bills. It didn't fix everything. My daughters are still healing. But now they know they're not crazy. They're not bad. And they're seen. By me. And now even by the people who once judged them. Because the truth? It doesn't always scream. Sometimes, it sings in hymn book disguise. If this story gave you chills, or just made you smile at some well-deserved karma, smash that like button, subscribe, and tell us in the comments. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? And remember, if someone tells lies about you, don't yell. Just print the truth. Professionally.